It always starts the same way. You meet her, and in the beginning it feels like fate. She looks at you with those eyes that seem to promise something deeper, something real. You think this is it. Finally, someone who gets you. She laughs at your jokes. She replies to your messages instantly. She even tells you things like, "I've never felt this way about anyone before." But weeks, months, maybe even years later, you're sitting alone, replaying the entire relationship in your head. And then it hits you. Was any of it even real? Or did she never really love you in the first place? Most men ignore the signs because when you're in love, you want to believe the story you've built in your head. But ignoring those signs comes with a price. Wasted years, shattered confidence, and scars that can take a lifetime to heal. Today, I'm going to reveal the hidden truth, the 11 signs she never really loved you. And once you see them, you'll never look at relationships the same way again. Let's begin with the first sign. Sign number 1, her affection had conditions. Imagine this. She only showed you affection when you did something for her, when you bought her gifts, when you took her out, when you bent over backward to make her comfortable. But when you needed her emotional support, when you were going through something real, she was cold, distant, or even annoyed. Real love doesn't come with terms and conditions. If she never hugged you unless you earned it, if she never kissed you unless you played by her rules, then what you had wasn't love. It was a transaction. And deep down, you probably felt it. Sign number 2, she never made you feel safe opening up. Think back. Did you ever feel like you couldn't show her your weaknesses? Did you stop yourself from being vulnerable because you knew she'd judge you, mock you, or even use it against you later? That's not love. Love creates safety, not fear. A woman who truly loves you wants to hear your doubts, your insecurities, your pain. But if she treated your vulnerability like a burden, if she rolled her eyes or changed the subject every time you tried to talk about something deep that wasn't love, that was indifference disguised as intimacy. Let's take this deeper with a story. There was a man, I'll call him Daniel. Daniel dated a woman who seemed perfect. She was beautiful, charming, and always smiling when they were out together. But behind closed doors, things were different. Whenever Daniel tried to talk about his dreams or his struggles at work, she'd brush him off. "You're overthinking it," she'd say. Or worse, she'd get annoyed. "Why do you always make everything so heavy?" Daniel ignored it because he didn't want to lose her. But years later, after she left him for someone else, he realized the truth. She never wanted to know the real him. She only wanted the version of him that made her feel good. If this sounds familiar, then you've already experienced the second sign. Sign number 3, she never respected your boundaries. Think about it. Did she get upset when you wanted time for yourself? Did she snoop through your phone, demand access to your social media, or guilt trip you when you set limits? That's not love. That's control. A woman who truly loves you honors your individuality. She respects that you're your own man with your own space. But if she treated your boundaries like obstacles, if she crossed lines you made clear, she wasn't in love. She was in possession. Sign number 4, her interest in you depended on her mood. There were days she made you feel like you were her whole world, and then there were days she acted like you didn't even exist. You'd send her a message and she'd reply instantly. Then the next day you'd get silence or one-word answers. Real love is consistent. It doesn't disappear when the mood changes. If you felt like you were always walking on eggshells, unsure of which version of her you'd get that day, then she never truly loved you. She was using you as emotional entertainment. Let me tell you something. Women who truly love you don't give you whiplash. They don't make you doubt your place in their life. If she was hot and cold, if she kept you guessing, if she thrived on making you chase her attention, she wasn't loving you. She was testing how much she could control you. Sign number 5, she never planned a future with you. Ask yourself this, did she ever talk about building a life with you? Or did all the future plans come from you while she just nodded along? A woman who loves you is excited to imagine a life together. She doesn't just wait for you to plan everything, she invests emotionally in that vision. But if she avoided conversations about the future, if she only talked about the present, or if every time you mentioned long-term plans she changed the subject or laughed it off, then that's a sign she never saw you as her forever. There's a powerful lesson here. Never confuse time spent with love given. Just because someone stayed in your life for months or years doesn't mean they loved you. Sometimes they were just comfortable, or afraid of being alone, or using you as a stepping stone until someone else came along. Now, before we move on, let's pause here and really reflect. How many of these signs do you recognize? One or two might be coincidence, but if you see 3, 4, or 5 of these in your past relationship, then you have to face the truth. She never really loved you. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can break free from the cycle of chasing people who were never meant to love you in the first place. All right, let's continue. Sign number 6, she compared you to other men. This one hurts, but it's critical to notice. If she constantly brought up her ex or praised other men in front of you, or subtly suggested you weren't measuring up, those weren't harmless comments. They were clues. A woman who truly loves you builds you up. She doesn't tear you down by pointing out how other men are taller, richer, more successful, or more charming. If she did this, she wasn't trying to inspire you. She was reminding herself why she didn't love you the way she should have. Sign number 7, she never celebrated your wins. Real love claps for you when you succeed. But if you achieved something and she acted like it didn't matter, or worse, seemed jealous or threatened, that's a sign she wasn't in love. A woman who truly loves you wants you to grow, to win, to shine. If she shrugged off your accomplishments or changed the subject when you shared your good news, then she wasn't your partner. She was a shadow standing in your light. Let's end part 1 here with this thought. Love is not about the pretty words, the Instagram photos, or the promises whispered in the dark. Love reveals itself in actions, consistent, selfless, supportive actions. If you look back and realize those actions were missing, then it's not that she stopped loving you. It's that she never loved you to begin with. And I want you to remember this. It's better to face that painful truth than to live in a comfortable lie. Because once you know what love isn't, you'll be better prepared to recognize what love truly is. In part 2, we'll uncover even more subtle, dangerous signs that she never really loved you, including the silent ways she emotionally disconnects while pretending to stay. You don't want to miss it. The hardest truth to accept is that not all women who smile at you, hold your hand, or even say, "I love you," are actually in love. Some are there for comfort, others for status, and some are simply afraid of being alone. But when you look back closely, the signs are always there. You just didn't want to see them. And if you've recognized the first 7 signs we uncovered earlier, then what comes next will hit even deeper. Sign number 8. She never protected your reputation. Let me explain. When a woman truly loves you, she defends you even when you're not in the room. She protects your name when others try to speak badly about you. But if she exposed your weaknesses to her friends, mocked you in public, or let others disrespect you without stepping in, that was not love. Real love guards your image because your dignity matters to her. If she gossiped about you behind your back, or told her family about your flaws without context, she wasn't building you up. She was tearing you down piece by piece. There was a man named Marcus. He found out the hard way. He thought his girlfriend was his biggest supporter. But one night he overheard her laughing with her friends about how clingy he was and how he wasn't ambitious enough. That night, he realized she never loved him. She tolerated him. The difference is huge. When a woman tolerates you, she'll share your weaknesses for entertainment. When a woman loves you, she'll guard your flaws like secrets, protecting your image the way she'd protect her own. Sign number 9. She used affection as a weapon. Think about it. Did she withhold intimacy whenever she was upset, only to suddenly shower you with affection when she wanted something? That's manipulation, not love. A woman who truly loves you doesn't treat affection like a bargaining chip. She doesn't weaponize closeness. But if every kiss, every hug, every tender moment felt like something you had to earn, then she wasn't loving you. She was controlling you. This is one of the most painful signs because it messes with your mind. It makes you believe you're the problem. You start asking yourself, what did I do wrong? Why did her warmth vanish overnight? But in reality, her affection was never unconditional. It was always transactional. And deep down, you knew it. Sign number 10, she didn't care about your growth. A woman who loves you sees potential in you that even you might not see. She wants to see you rise, evolve, improve. She encourages you to chase your dreams, even if it means she has to sacrifice comfort. But if she mocked your ambitions, if she discouraged you when you wanted to try something new, or if she seemed threatened by your progress, that was not love. That was fear of losing control. Let me paint you a picture. There was a man named Elijah. He wanted to start a small business, something he was passionate about. Instead of supporting him, his girlfriend laughed at the idea. Why risk it? You'll probably fail anyway. He listened. He gave up his dream, and years later, when she left him, he realized she was never on his side. A woman who loves you fuels your fire. A woman who doesn't care about you will try to put it out before it ever begins. Sign number 11, her love was never about you. It was about what you gave her. This is the final and most revealing sign. If she loved the lifestyle, the attention, the gifts, or the comfort you provided, but not you as a man, then she never really loved you. Real love is not built on what you bring to the table. It's built on who you are at your core. If she adored the dinners but ignored your struggles, if she enjoyed your protection but never gave you peace, if she loved your resources but not your soul, then it was never love. It was convenience. Now I want to take you deeper here, because this is the one sign most men ignore until it's too late. When she leaves, you start asking, was it me? Was I not enough? But the truth is, you were never the problem. She was never in love with you to begin with. She was in love with the benefits of being with you. And the second those benefits faded, or the second she found someone else who could give her more, she was gone. Think about it carefully. Did she love the way you made her feel, or did she love you? There's a difference. A woman who truly loves you stays even when you're struggling, even when life gets messy. But a woman who never loved you disappears the moment things stop being fun, easy, or glamorous. Now let's pause for a moment, because I know this is heavy. Maybe as you're listening, memories are flooding your mind. Maybe you're realizing that someone you gave years of your life to never actually loved you. That realization cuts deep. But here's the good news. Once you see the truth, you can never unsee it. And that truth is what will save you from repeating the same mistakes again. Let me leave you with a story that ties it all together. There was a man named Victor. For 5 years, he thought he was in love with the perfect woman. She was beautiful, outgoing, always the life of the party. But over time, Victor started noticing little cracks. She laughed at his dreams. She rolled her eyes when he talked about his struggles. She never wanted to plan a future with him, only wanted to live in the moment. He ignored the signs because he loved her so much. But one day, she left, without warning, without closure. And when she did, Victor finally realized the truth. She had never loved him. She loved the attention, the gifts, the way he made her feel, but never him. Victor's story is not unique. In fact, it's the story of countless men who confuse attention for love, convenience for commitment, and words for actions. But if you're listening now, you don't have to be another Victor. You can wake up, see the signs for what they are, and protect yourself from wasting your heart on someone who was never really yours. So let's recap the last few signs. She never protected your reputation. She used affection as a weapon. She didn't care about your growth. And finally, she loved what you gave her, not who you are. These are the last pieces of the puzzle. When you put them together with the first 7 signs, the truth becomes undeniable. And here's what I want you to remember. Real love doesn't make you doubt yourself. It doesn't humiliate you, manipulate you, or discourage your dreams. Real love strengthens you. It builds you up. It feels safe, consistent, and genuine. If you didn't have that, then it wasn't love. In part 3, we'll go even further. We'll explore the hidden psychology behind why some women pretend to love but never actually do, and how you can protect yourself from falling into that trap again. Because knowing the signs is one thing, but understanding the psychology, that's what will truly set you free. Now that we've gone through the 11 signs, I need you to sit with this truth. Love is not always what it looks like. Some women will smile in your face, hold your hand, and whisper all the right words. But in their hearts, there is no love. There's only attachment, convenience, or self-interest. And the danger is that men who ignore the signs end up carrying the deepest scars. But here's the real question. Why does this happen? Why would someone stay with you, pretend to love you, act like you're their world, when deep down they never actually cared? To understand this, you need to step into the world of psychology. Because once you see the patterns, once you understand the hidden motives, you will never be fooled again. Let's break it down. The first psychological reason is fear of loneliness. Many women would rather be with someone they don't love than face life alone. Loneliness can feel like a prison, and being in a relationship, even with a man they don't truly care about, gives them comfort and security. But here's the tragedy. While she avoids her loneliness, you waste your time believing in something that doesn't exist. She gains comfort, you lose years. The second reason is validation. For some women, being loved, even if they don't love back, is a source of power. It boosts their self-esteem. They enjoy being the center of your world. They love the way you chase them, the way you sacrifice for them, the way you prove yourself to them. It makes them feel important. But that's not love. That's ego. And if you were with someone like this, you were feeding her pride, not her heart. The third reason is lifestyle. Let's be honest. Some women stay because of what you provide. It could be financial stability, social status, or even the comfort of knowing someone is always there to pick up the pieces. She may never have loved you, but she loved what you gave her. And when a relationship is built on benefits instead of connection, it's only a matter of time before it collapses. The fourth reason is fear of judgment. Society often pressures women to be in relationships, to settle down, to avoid being seen as unwanted. So instead of waiting for true love, some settle for whoever is available. That means you could have been chosen not because of who you are, but because of what she feared, being alone, being judged, being left behind. And if that's the foundation, how could it ever grow into real love? And the fifth reason is emotional confusion. Some women mistake attraction, attention, or even dependency for love. They convince themselves they love you because they enjoy your presence or your care. But deep inside, it's not love. It's comfort. It's need. It's temporary emotion. And when those feelings fade, so does the illusion of love. Now let me pause here, because if you've ever been through this, you might be angry. You might feel like you were used, deceived, played. But I want you to look at it differently. These signs, this psychology, it's not just about her. It's about you. It's about learning to protect yourself, to see through the masks, and to recognize the difference between words and actions. Because once you do, you will never be manipulated again. Let me give you something practical. When you meet someone new, don't rush to believe in words. Watch their actions. Ask yourself, does she protect my name when I'm not there? Does she support my growth, or does she mock my ambition? Does she give affection freely, or does she weaponize it? Does she love me when I have nothing to offer, or only when I'm giving her something? These questions will reveal everything you need to know. And here's another truth most men ignore. Love that is real is consistent. It doesn't appear only when things are easy. It doesn't vanish when money is low or when challenges come. Real love is present in your darkest hours. If she only loved you in the sunshine but disappeared in the storm, then she never loved you. I want to share a story that captures this perfectly. There was a man named Daniel. When his business failed, he lost everything. His girlfriend of 3 years, who once called him her forever, suddenly became distant. She stopped answering his calls quickly. She stopped being affectionate, and within weeks she left, saying she needed someone who could match her energy. Daniel was crushed, but years later, when he rebuilt his life and found a woman who stayed by him through thick and thin, he finally understood. The first woman never loved him. She loved the success. The second woman loved him, and that's the difference every man needs to learn. So let's bring it home. The psychology is clear. Women who never loved you were often driven by fear, validation, lifestyle, judgment, or confusion. And the signs were always there. She didn't protect your reputation. She used affection as a weapon. She discouraged your growth. She loved the benefits, not the man. Now here's the final message I want you to carry with you. Stop asking, why didn't she love me? And start asking, why did I ignore the signs? Because that's where your true power lies. Once you stop ignoring the red flags, you'll stop wasting time on women who never loved you in the first place. And when you do that, you open the door to finding the woman who truly will. Because yes, she exists. There are women who will love you for who you are, not what you give. Women who will stand by you in failure and in success. Women who will defend your name when you're not in the room, who will celebrate your dreams, who will never weaponize affection. That is real love. And once you've tasted it, you'll never settle for less. So I challenge you, go back, look at your past relationships with clear eyes. Ask yourself, was it love or was it convenience? Was it love or was it ego? Was it love or was it fear? And once you answer those questions honestly, you'll be ready to move forward stronger, wiser, and more unshakable than ever. And if this message hit home for you, then you know what to do. Don't just keep this truth to yourself. Share it so other men don't fall into the same trap. And before you leave, make sure you subscribe to this channel, because here, we don't sugarcoat reality. We expose it, we learn from it, and we grow stronger because of it. This wasn't just about her never loving you. This was about you finally loving yourself enough to stop ignoring the signs.